All right, guys. Review of our two matches from last weekend. Like I said, good improvement. Really good battle in the first game versus Surf, and then second game getting the win over against Salem Celta. Two good opponents, and yeah, I like definitely saw some good improvement from us last weekend. So let's get off to this first play here. This one I was showing Matt on Wednesday, but I wanted to show here where I could have more ability to move the camera around than on my phone on this. So I want to show the whole thing, and it should be helpful to everybody here. So look, we have, this is what it looks like here. All right, there's a scan from Matt. He's looking down there. Right, he sees Ralphie open there. Another scan there. Now it looks like he's covered. So Ralphie, you need to seal this player off here with your body. All right, so an example of that would be here. We'll look at this clip here. Look at this player right here. How he's going to use his body. Seal this guy off. And just hold him so he can get a touch. Creates a really good scoring opportunity. All right. So that's the first thing. Other thing is here we have an option out here, Peter out wide, and then Gavin Zorks out wide. Right here, it looks like we already made up our mind to go here. I think the scanning, we saw Ralphie, we saw him. I don't think that we saw this option out here. If we process what we have here, right, ultimately, this is a great opportunity since both wingers are pretty wide here. All this space in the middle, we should exploit this more. If Ralphie's able to get in a better position here, seal him off, we get the ball to him, and then move up the sport play. That's not really an option there because we're just not sealing him off. At this point, it looks like Matt's made up his mind to go here. And one thing that would be non-negotiable here is a firm pass, and it's not the case there, and that kind of blows up the play. But if we're kind of analyzing what we get here, so if we go here, we get a 1v1, some good space. Okay, that's good. Obviously, there's a risk if we don't hit a perfect pass. It could get intercepted and lead to a goal scoring chance for them. But we're okay with taking calculated risk. Or we come here, go to Peter, who has a 1v1 and some good space. We could possibly create a 2v1 if we make a movement over here, which is what we could have done over this way, too, if we go to Gavin Zorks. But, we get the same thing on this side without the risk of it getting intercepted and leading to a goal scoring opportunity. So, in this case, I'd rather go here and not switch the field because we're getting the same product either way. Just more risk going this way. And, well, ideally, I'd like to have this be the play here. But it wasn't, all right? Should be, but it wasn't. So now we got to go to plan B, which is here, because if there's a reward over here, and maybe this player's backed off more some, yeah, that's the play there. But he's not. So, and then if we are going to make this cross-court pass, it's just got to be faster. All right. And here we're going to see where we're on the right track here. Ralphie's going to seal him off good. Right there. You want to be in like a diagonal body position. You get that. He's controlling the ball with his right foot. So he wants to get his left elbow and pin it right into his chest and then control with his right foot. That way he's keeping the ball furthest as possible away from this defender. And he can feel where he's going. And what it would lead to is better hold-up play. He's trying what Ralphie should be trying to do is, at the minimum, possess the ball, hold up play for your supporting runners to come. So here it has an option out right. Kind of looks like that same play we just saw, right? When we looked over at this video here. And he's got this runner here, but we're just fumbling the ball. And that's because the technique, in this case, Ralph is required to hold it up longer. So as soon as he seals him, that's when he needs to turn his body to a side-on position and control with the furthest foot. So we don't get that option here. That would have been a really good, option right here with, go back here, right, Jackson, just in case we don't see it. He makes just like the video, and then we just lay it off to him there. That's a really good scoring opportunity, right? But it's also not, right? That would have been the ideal opportunity. Here, if we're able to control it right here, it might be too late to go there. Maybe not. But we should at least be able to secure possession back here to Matt. But there's just more fumbling going on. And by the time Matt gets the ball, he's already under severe pressure. And it's not what we want when we go back in this situation. So, but on the right track there. Here we're looking at these wingers. Again, we're going to be specifically looking for this on Saturday. We have the ball. You got to get wide. The yellow line is out of bounds. I made this a rectangle here. And, we could see this is the area that the blue team has to cover. If Gavin gets to the yellow, out wider. If Peter gets out to the yellow, out wider. Now they have a bigger area of space to cover. All right, so ultimately what we want to do is penetrate the middle of the field. When we do that, we can create some really good opportunities like we saw in that last clip, right? When we penetrate the middle, that creates off balance for the opponent's defense and forces them to react and move things around and create possible openings for us. So we want to get that striker in that hold up position, all right? And easier to do that if these guys are out wide, all right? Next one here is we have, again, where we got to pin him in. We got to get a body in front of this player, right? One of Ralphie's strengths is his physical strength, right? So got to use it here and get your body in front of him. All right, next one here is we got team defending. So let's go back here. So this is a lack of discipline here. Go back again. All right, look, we have 1-2 players. They're just chasing the ball. Right, I've talked about it before about our strategy to possess the ball, and the point of it is to off balance the defense. It's basically to bait in defenders to chase the ball, and then it creates openings. And we're defensively here, we're not showing any discipline. We got Blake and Jackson here, 2 guys going after the ball. That can't happen when this player is 80 feet from goal. We can't have 2 guys going after the ball because at the opponent's teams we're playing, they're gonna pick you apart if you do that, and that's what happens here. All right, and here we're gonna do it again. Look here, 2 guys going for the ball. In this case, this would be Peter's man, and Blake, you'd want to stick with this runner here. We don't do that, and then we have somebody else coming to this player here. Sam's now forced to step up. And he's just going to chase the ball. Now, this is a tough play for Sam, but at this point, he's just got to hold because this kid is 50 feet from the goal. And if he connects with something over here, he's really close to the goal. Now, they created a 2v1. Sam's out of the play. Just because of really poor rotation on our part and just, we have to be more disciplined on defense, create a 2v1, and, right here. And at that point, we're pretty much done, right? So, free kick strategy, just go over this here. What I was aiming for here, I was trying to create a numerical advantage up here in the box, and I wanted Colby here to just chip it up and, us just win it versus assuming we have more players than them in this area here, which we do. Right, so right in this area here, 1, 2, 3, and we have wide open players. Gavin's wide open, Ralphie's wide open. We just want, I'd probably say a little more height on this ball, right? Okay, and then I think we would have got a better opportunity. Last one here is going to be, actually, I'm going to go to our goals because I think I covered a lot so far. So I did just want to include our goals in here. We saw Ralphie's here. We're going to look at them all here. And his free kick, and here's one off Gavin's assist, the great defensive play by Gavin there. And then he's going to get rewarded with the assist here. Good 1v1 by Ralphie, left foot finish. Good stuff. Here we have Gavin off the inbounds to Peter. Good composure, finish there. Here we have Peter from the corner. Matt, first time, just full blasting it in. Top bins there. Then we have another one here, Hudson, with the defense and the assist, and the Ralphie finish. And then we have one more here, Peter, pass to Matthew, getting one chance, second chance, finishing it there. So, yeah, good stuff, good improvement. Really looking forward to our game tomorrow. And I believe we have the Philly Surf again. So we'll be ready for their physical. So that's good. We'll be ready for another physical battle with them. All right, guys. See everyone tomorrow.